Hello, my name is Sarah Jefford. I am a family creation lawyer in Australia, and I'm going to talk to you about how you might find a surrogate in Australia. This is always top of the list of questions for intended parents in particular who are looking at surrogacy and like, yeah, but where do we find the surrogate? What I can tell you is that about 65% of my clients find a surrogate from within their existing network. So it might be a family member or a friend, but it could also be further afield than that. It could be a work colleague or somebody they've met through school pickup or somebody they've met through a friend of a friend. I have lots of stories about people saying that they've shared their story of needing a surrogate with somebody close to them, who then shared it with somebody else who was close to them. And what do you know? They found somebody that might have offered to be their surrogate. So lots of people have done it with work colleagues and extended family and friends, lots of sisters and cousins. If you don't have that option of somebody that's close to you or within your acquaintances that might consider doing surrogacy, I can tell you that the other 35% of my clients find a surrogate usually on social media. So what we might call a new relationship, somebody they've met for the purpose of doing surrogacy. And from my experience, that's actually how I found my intended parents. I decided I wanted to be a surrogate and I went looking for intended parents who needed somebody. And that's how I found my intended parents, through Facebook groups. So I will share some links to particular Facebook groups that you can go to. There is the Australian surrogacy community on Facebook, but there's also statewide groups. So there's one in Victoria, one in New South Wales, one in Queensland, one in Western Australia, one in South Australia. So if you just search for them, surrogacy Facebook groups, and you might actually get to know other people. But part of this journey is not just finding a surrogate, it's finding other people who are doing it as well. So it's other intended parents and other surrogates who become your friends, and in some ways become your cheer squad so that they can support you through the journey, whether it's within Australia or potentially going overseas. If you are looking at, well, how do we find somebody that is within our existing networks or might be a friend of a friend, then one option is actually to share your story. It's really important to do that because a lot of people actually think that surrogacy is not legal. So if you're going about thinking, well, I'm not going to be able to find somebody within my friends or my family network, it's important to remember that they may not even know that surrogacy is something that you are considering, but also they may not know that it's a legal option in Australia. So I know a lot of people will share a story on Facebook about, what their journey has been to get to this stage, sharing a bit about themselves, and then sharing why they want to find a surrogate and who they might be looking for. What you're really looking for is somebody that's over the age of 25. She doesn't need to be local to you. She can live in another state. That's fine. Lots of interstate arrangements happen. Most of the time, surrogates need to be over 25. And for Victorian and Western Australian intended parents, a surrogate needs to have had her own child before becoming a surrogate. That's not a legal requirement for the other states. So if you think about it, the only thing that you're looking for is somebody that's over 25 and healthy and willing to be your surrogate. But the more important part about finding that person is that you're looking for somebody to be your friend, because well beyond the birth and any legal process in surrogacy, you want somebody that you're still going to be friends with so that you can share that story with your child about how they came to be, and you can have an ongoing relationship with that person and their family. That's really important. Particularly here in Australia where surrogates are not paid, the payment that we receive as surrogates is knowing that we can have an ongoing relationship with our intended parents. I have some resources on my website about sharing your story and connecting with surrogates, whether it's within existing networks or new people on the internet. It is totally possible. It's becoming more and more popular within Australia, and there's less stigma around finding somebody on the internet that might carry a baby. I did it myself. It's not that weird. I mean, it's a little bit weird, but we know that it's weird, and I did it anyway. So if you have any questions, you are welcome to contact me, but you can find lots of resources on the website at sarahjefford.com. And if you wanted to email me with any questions, you can do so at sarah@sarahjefford.com. Good luck.